It's Tuesday. We're getting towards the end. We've only got a couple days left to go through the list of the greatest and not so greatest Dungeons and Dragons films ever made. So, are the Deathstalker films the best D&D film ever made? Did you know Corman made 4 Deathstalker films and 3 spin-offs featuring the Barbarian Queen and a whole bunch of other movies set in the Deathstalker world? According to this, at least 4 or 5 of Corman's B fantasy films were all directly or indirectly connected in that world, and they were all filmed in Argentina during his deal with the Argentinian Film Board. So, yeah, I mean, that's a huge fantasy series when you think about it. It's got everything a, beer and pretzels D&D game needs. It's got scantily clad women. It's got monsters. It's got sorcery. It's got dungeons. It's got adventures. It's got the Roger Cameron level of camp. Here's a man who just loves making films for very low budgets, puts his heart and soul into everything he makes, no matter how awful it is, and never feels bad. Corman's just a genius in low budget filmmaking and greatly influential. And he knew about D&D. So, the Deathstalker films. Have you seen them? Are you aware of them? Did you know there were 4 of them? Do you think the Deathstalker films encapsulated the Roger Corman fantasy universe is the best D&D film series ever made? Is this one of the best D&D films ever? There's 4 of them, so, they're all awesome in their campiness. So what do you think about the Deathstalker films and their place in fantasy, and if they do or do not count as D&D movies, and are they on your list? If you haven't seen them, and you got a Friday night, you owe it to yourself to dive into the weird, wacky, wonderfully campy world of Roger Corman fantasy films.